Hey guys, how's it going? So today we're going to be looking at the Feiyu's newest gimbal, the WG2. It's a wearable gimbal and supposedly it's the world's first waterproof gimbal. Okay, so let's unbox it. Oh yeah, so when I got this, it was just like this. It wasn't in a shrink wrap plastic. But when I bought my Feiyu G5, it came all wrapped up in shrink wrap. So I don't really know if this is an open item or not. Okay, and here we have an envelope with manuals and warranty cards. So in here we have a carrying case made of neoprene. So open it up. Okay, so inside we have the gimbal and the mounting adapter for the GoPro session, the charging cable, and a little pack of poison that you're not supposed to eat. Okay, so I'm gonna be using this with the Hero 4. So first, you need to remove this little piece of plastic that holds the gimbals in place, like when you transport it and you don't want it moving around. So there's a piece of plastic right here. You just take it off. So you don't really need this. Okay. And you unscrew these two little screws to put in the GoPro. Oh yeah, so I'm not really comfortable with using the GoPro outside of the case. So what I did was, it's the least thing I could do. I bought this little lens protector. So you just stick it on. Okay, so now you're gonna put in the GoPro. So you could put it either way, like you could mount it like this, or you could mount it like this. So I prefer to mount it this way because that way I could just slide it in and out without taking the bracket completely out. And also sometimes I like to use the microphone port. Drop it in and then tighten the screw. Okay, so after you get it mounted on, you're gonna need to balance the gimbal because this gimbal is made for different GoPro and also other brands of action cams. So it's adjustable. There's this arm here that you could move back and forth to balance it. So you're gonna turn this knob here to unlock, and then you move this arm here. You could move it left or right to balance it. So right about in the middle. Then I'm gonna tighten the knob. Okay, so there you have it. So this here is supposed to be a waterproof gimbal, and I was really excited. I was gonna take it, go snorkeling. I've had a lot of snorkeling videos and they're all so shaky, so I was so excited that this is waterproof, but after reading the instruction, this here it's waterproof. It's not water resistant, it's waterproof. But if it's fully submerged in water, you can only go as deep as 0.5 meter, which is about 1.5 feet maybe. And you could only fully submerge it for up to 5 minutes. So it have to be less than 5 minutes and less than 0.5 meter below the water surface at most. And they also don't recommend that you use it in salt water, which is a bummer because, you know, if I can't take it snorkeling, at least I want to go surfing with it. But they say it's not recommended, but I suppose you could try it. But if you do, you have to wash it with fresh water afterward, and you have to soak it in fresh water for 3 minutes. Okay, so because it's waterproof, I don't see a way for you to change the battery, so that's another thing that I don't like about it. I mean, supposedly it can only run for 2.5 hours, so if you have a long surfing session and you can't change the battery, I mean, you're not going to stop surfing just to go and charge it in a car. So, yeah, that's a bad thing about it. And also because it's waterproof, like, there's not a whole lot of openings. So, over here you have only one button. It's the power on, off, and mode function button all in one. And over here you have the charging port, the USB charging port. So you just pull this out, charge it, and make sure you plug it back in real good before you go into the water. Alright, and then to mount it, you have two different mounting options. You could mount from the back, or you could mount from the bottom. And they're both 1/4 inch tripod mount. So I don't see a GoPro adapter coming with the package, which is crazy. I mean, why would you make a gimbal to be used with the GoPro and then you can't mount it with any of the GoPro mount? So supposedly you use it with a T-clamp adapter. I looked everywhere online and I don't see anyone selling it. Okay, so back to the battery life. Supposedly this would last 2.5 hours and I haven't had time to take it out on an adventure yet, so I don't really know realistically how long the battery is gonna last. But with the G5, the Feiyu G5 that I have, this one here, supposedly it's supposed to have 8 hours with a single charge of battery. And I used it while biking and it lasted around 4 hours. Oh yeah, okay, so there are optional accessories you could get with this. You have the tiny little mini tripod and the remote control. The cool thing is the remote control works with the WG2 and it also works with the G5. Same with the tripod. It works with the other gimbal as well. And the remote control. There we go. Okay, so let's turn this on. So because this is waterproof, so the button here, somehow it's really hard to press. I mean, sometimes I have to use both hands just to press it down. It's just literally so hard to press on. Okay, So you press down on the power button and hold it down until the light blink green to turn it on. There we go. Okay, I don't think you could see this, but you could probably hear it, but the motor is like trembling and shaking in my hand right now. So I think something's wrong with it. I think I got a lemon. It's like vibrating in my hand right now, which is just not right. Sometimes you just have to move it a little bit for it to go away, but it comes back all the time. So I guess I'll have to send it back and get a replacement. Alright, so when you turn it on by default, it's gonna go into panning mode. So this is the panning mode. Okay, so then if you press the power button once, it'll go into lock mode. See, so in lock mode, no matter how you move the gimbal, the camera will not move. Okay, so if you press the function button 2 times, it now should be in fallow mode. So in fallow mode, it will go left, right, and also up and down. Okay, now if you press the function button 3 times, oh, it's so hard to remember all this. I think if you press it 3 times, okay, let's find out what happened. Okay, if you press the function button 3 times, it'll just turn the camera 180 degrees. Okay, and if you press it 4 times, it goes into auto rotation mode. I think it's for time lapse, where it will slowly just turns slowly over a period of like maybe a couple of hours. I think you could set it to the amount of time that you want. Alrighty, so let's talk about the remote control. So before I bought the remote control, I read the review. It's vibrating. So before I bought the remote control, I read the reviews, and people were saying that that when you control it with the remote control, the panning and the tilting was really slow. So let's find out. So there's no power button on the gimbal to turn off or to turn on the Bluetooth. So I guess the Bluetooth is always on the gimbal. So to pair this one here, you just this is the joystick, and this here is the selfie button. Where if you press it, it will turn back 180 degrees, and when you release it, it'll go back into original position. And this is the function button. So you just press the joystick up, hold it, and hold down on the function button. And let go, and it will blink blue, and when it blinks blue and green, that's when it's paired. Oh yeah, another thing I forgot to say is this gimbal here, it could turn 360 degrees. So like on this axis, it will turn all around. And then on this axis, it will also turn 360 degrees. So yeah, it's really convenient to have the remote control. And if you don't have the remote control, and say you're biking and you want to adjust the angle, then you simply hold the camera and turn it and hold it for a couple of seconds, and it will stay locked into that position. So you still be able to pan, but it's tilting down just the way you adjusted it. Okay, so let's connect the phone to the gimbal. So you simply download the Feiyu app, and it's pretty easy to connect. Okay, so to connect the gimbal to the phone, you just download the Feiyu app, and then you pick your model from here, WG2, and click on connect. There's a joystick here, so you could just use it to control. So there's a joystick function on the app, and there's also a function button on the app, so you could switch function a lot faster versus having to press all these press one time, press two times, and that's just too much work. See, so like if you press here, it's for panning mode. You press here, it's for follow mode, and down here is the lock mode. And you could go into setting. Okay, so you go here to go to the setting, and if you click on firmware, it'll let you update the firmware on the gimbal. However, I was hoping if I upgrade the firmware, the vibration problem that I have will go away, but it says here that I already have the newest version of the firmware. So that's another bummer, so I don't know how I'm gonna fix the vibration problem. Okay, so if you go back, go into setting again, and here it says motor dynamic. You could change the strength of the motors. So by default, it's here, and I already tried playing around with it, but it still doesn't fix the vibration problem. So like here, if I increase the strength on all three motors and save, okay, so listen to this. The motor is just buzzing like crazy right now, so I'm gonna have to change it back. So even if I change the strength to like the minimum amount, it still doesn't fix the vibration problem. Check it out, it's still shaking like crazy. So on minimum setting for the motor, look at this. It's shaking like crazy. Okay, so let's just go back. By default, it was around here. Save. Okay, I think it kind of stopped vibrating for now. Okay, go back. So there's all these other settings you could do, like in fallow mode, you could change like the speed of how fast it will pan or tilt. And you could also change the setting, like if you use the joystick, how fast it will pan or tilt. Okay, so that's about it. I haven't got a chance to go out with it yet, but when I do, I'll upload the actual footage on a separate videos. I really don't know what to do. Like, I'm thinking of returning this and get a replacement, but what do you guys think? Should I get a replacement or just return it and try a different brand? If you have any recommendation of a different brand, please let me know. Okay, bye guys.